Hello, wonderful people. This time I want to share with you about the Eve syndrome that is very common with many of us. And especially whenever we are faced with the difficult situation and circumstances, we always go back to this phrase or word, Eve. My brother, if the doctors would have done this and this, my patient would not have died. If would have not married you, I would not be in this situation. If the government did this and this, would be better. If my parents did something to me, my life will not be the way it is today. And this word if is very, very common with many of us. Whenever people are going through difficult situation, this is a very common word. Now, in the Bible, there is this case of Lazarus' death. I'll read from John chapter 11 and verse 21. Now Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. This lady is actually telling Jesus, if you came the time we called you when my brother was still sick, he would not have died. You are late now. The situation is out of hand. It is too late now because my brother is dead. He is in the tomb and his body is slowly decomposing. If you came that time we called you. And you know Jesus Christ, he delayed deliberately because he wanted to come at the right time. If you read John chapter 11 verse 4, when Jesus heard that Lazarus was sick, he said, the sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it. So Jesus delayed so that the Son of God could be glorified through the death of Lazarus. If Jesus would have gone to this place by the time Lazarus was sick, the glory of God would not have been glorified in this manner because Jesus Christ was always tuned to the heavenly frequency. He knew the right time to respond to things. And even in our lives, he knows the right time to respond. We might think it's too late. We might think God is delaying. And we have so many Eve. Eve, I only knew. Eve, please do not use the word Eve. You are one of those who are called according to God's purpose. Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. All things work for good to those who love God. Even what you are going through, it is working for good because you love the Lord. So don't get discouraged. We need to understand that many things that will happen in our lives will have all those Eves. Little do we know, it is God's timing that matters. And Jesus will always come through. And whenever he appears, he will resurrect and renew our lives, our situation. And it is never too late for him to appear. According to you, according to the human mind and standards and judgment, it may appear to be too far, too late, but it's never too late. Because when he appears, in verse 23, he said, Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again, and you will rise again. Your situation will be renewed. I'm here to tell you, you rise again. Verse 25, Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live forever. So Jesus' appearance changed the situation and the story from mourning to rejoicing. And he turned their mourning into a moment of rejoicing because he himself was the resurrection. Time to him was not an issue. Whether it would have come earlier or late, because he was the one to fix the situation. And I want to tell you today, Jesus is the one who fixes situation if we invite him. And he may not necessarily come the time we want him to come. He may not appear exactly the time we want him to come. But as long as we are called according to his purpose, all things work together for good of those who love the Lord and called according to his purpose. So let's not have the if. The reason why Martha, she said if, it is because she didn't have the sight of the big picture. And the sight of the big picture was Jesus was the resurrection and the life. And is that Jesus Christ delayed deliberately because he wanted to come at that particular time when God will be glorified. Even in your situation, God is not delaying. He will come at that particular time when his glory will be manifested in reality.